Hey guys, and this is Geek Tank's presentation of Star Trek Chaucer. And this is sort of a special side adventure because the rest of the crew has gone off into a different direction. So all we have tonight is Richard playing Captain Core. I always go the wrong direction because I want to point this way. Richard playing Captain Core and Nate playing Major Thistless. And then, of course, we've got Joe, my co-GM for this adventure, who is playing various things and doing various things, but also is, most importantly, Minister Velas. So there we go. Welcome to the show, guys. Thanks for being here.
Excited.
So the last game that we played, we had a 3-part adventure going on there, and at the end, I guess I kind of should have known. Chelsea made a left turn on all of us, which was actually awesome. So we're going ahead and kind of bring you up to speed because I know that, Richard, you haven't been here for a couple of these adventures. So kind of bring you up to speed of what's going on since the first act. Second act, we came in and what happened then was that we had the first officer who was having a baby, and the baby was born. The baby was male. During that time, Lupine discovered that the males were actually still aboard the ship. They were just in suspension, cryogenic freeze, whatever you want to call that, in the walls. And they had been put in the walls that looked very much like they were stained glass and everything like that. And they were in this suspension that wasn't quite cryogenic freeze, but it was like cryogenic freeze. So, they were in carbonite. So, and there's Brent. Brent is here, but he's not here. So Brent is watching because he's not playing, because he is in the mirror universe with everybody else. So during this time, they were trying to deal with how to handle this sort of issue. The ship is headed towards Bite. They've discovered that it has been traveling for a very, very long time. And so obviously it can't go to Bite. That's a given, and things like that. Well, the end of Act 2 ended up with a decloaking Romulan ship, which showed up. The Romulan ship is was a Winged Defender, which is one of my favorites from the FASA collection. And it wanted to take the Nelcav back. Okay, Brent, I think we should be fine, but who knows? Maybe we will. Wanted to take the Nelcav back to Romulan space. They put a tractor beam on it. Lupine put a tractor beam on it from the Van Valkenburg. They started to pull apart the Nelcav ship. It started to fall apart. So Lupine then activated the special warp thingy and warped her and the Van Valkenburg and the bird, or the Winged Defender, somewhere else. You don't know where they went. You have no idea what's going on. They just vanished.
And it just so happens that your first officer, Commander Hastings, was on the Van Valkenburg when that happened. So, Captain Core, you are now minus a first officer.
First officerless.
Well, it's better without the first officer than without the captain. This is why we have regulations.
This is true.
So that's where we are. We start with this special session with there's a flash. Your screens go blank. Your consoles all blank out. And then when all your power comes back on and everything like that, you see the Nelcav vessel. It's already kind of falling apart a little bit. Pieces of it are coming away, and they're obviously in really bad shape over there. And there is no sign of the Van Valkenburg or of the Winged Defender.
Okay. Well, first thing I would do is start emergency procedures for emergency rescue for everybody on board the Nelcav.
Yeah, the Nelcav vessel.
The Nelcav vessel.
There's 12,000 people over there, so you'll have to figure out what to do about that.
How many people did you get on this ship?
Well, I know it's built for emergency rescue. I just can't remember how much.
Do you have the ship schematics?
Somewhere.
Now, I'm having, it's been a couple of weeks now. Joe, they didn't ever transport anybody off of the Nelcav vessel, did they?
Briefly, that berth took place with a couple of guards and
We did shuttle.
officer, and that was on the van.
But we did it.
So they were working very hard to not transport. So you're
correct. Yeah, they haven't seen the they suspect though, because remember they put Brent's character into the shuttle and then they came back and he wasn't there anymore, and they said there was an escape pod. But I think Minister Valise is suspicious.
right. Well, and they're not idiots. I'm sure they'd figured out there's some magic somewhere. Arthur C. Clarke-esque magic going on.
How would we be able to determine how many people we can hold onto the ship?
Who's got the schematics on the...
I have the character sheet, or the ship sheet.
But it won't tell you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look on Memory Alpha, but I don't think it's an official ship.
It isn't. It's one of Dustin's finds.
Did it come from FASA? Does anybody have the appropriate FASA?
Do you remember what class your ship is?
It's called a successor class.
And can you Google that?
It's coming up with the Constitution class.
It shouldn't be.
Let me go see if I have a FASA book that will help. I'll be right back.
It says the next generation technical manual, a Nova class, is a successor of the Galaxy class starship. No, never mind.
Right.
Well, Dustin did pull the stats from the Constitution, I believe.
I don't think you have enough room in the Constitution.
No, I think I'm going to have to call back to the starbase.
We need to send a distress signal because we have a ship missing, and we also have an enemy in our area, in our space, and we have a bunch of people that need rescuing. We should probably send some sort of signal back to the starbase.
Oh yeah, well, if
get people coming.
Yeah, that's exactly what I would do.
We should also launch all the shuttles and fill the shuttles up separately as much as possible.
Yeah.
We can start doing some evacuating. At least go and let the minister know we're going to be teleporting people off the ship before people just start appearing on our ship and we have to have security beat them down.
Yeah.
Because something just happened. Would you like me to go and do that?
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
All right. I'll take my shuttle crew and we'll go over to the other ship.
Okay.
I do have a question. Are we able to, if we come up alongside the ship, would we be able to use our shielding to help try to keep the atmosphere in a little bit so it can last a little longer?
You can try to extend your shields around the Nelcav vessel. Yeah, you can probably do that and see if you can extend some of that or some of the ship's powers to that. Give me a. I want from you. I'm gonna want daring and engineering, and you can use one of your characters to do that if you need to. And you can roll one extra die and use the ship's engines plus, let's go engineering. So engines plus engineering.
All right. So I have a value. I actually have two values that this would work with.
Okay.
Leave no man behind, and there is always a way.
Okay, good. I'll accept those, certainly. Those fit.
focuses. Would computer operations help with this at all?
Probably not.
That's what I was thinking. So what does the values do again? It's been a minute since I've played.
Oh, Joe's muted.
Apologies. You can use a value to spend determination, like spending momentum, or if you act against your value, then you can gain a new determination. You start each session with 1 determination.
So we've got 1 determination we can use. If you, and by the way, once you use it, you can do the same thing and just incur a threat, which is my determination. You know, so anything could happen at that point.
Yeah.
Allows me to have a die.
We don't need a second Romulan ship.
Right. That's what happens with this. That's what happens when I get threat.
So it's just 3 dice, 2 for me and 1 for the ship, right?
Right. And you can.
Okay, so the lighter color is going to be for the ship. The darker colors is for me.
Okay.
What is going to be for the ship again?
So I'm going to want your engines and engineering.
Okay. Okay, so I think I have 3 successes. And in order for it to be, oh wait, my engineering's 1. Okay, never mind. So 3 successes. Did you want to see?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I have faith that you're not lying to me.
Okay. Oh, crisis management. What does crisis management do?
Well, crisis management would mean that you're doing good under pressure, and I'm not going to make you have to come up with 3 challenges to fix this. So
Okay.
you're going to succeed, because otherwise I would have asked you to have 3 successes, but I'll give you 2 successes because crisis management means that you're good under pressure.
Okay.
So this wouldn't be as hard as it would be for other people. You know, other people are like, oh God, and they freak out and they can't press the buttons fast enough.
Yep.
All right. So you extend the shields around the ship. It is still starting to break up a little bit, but you're managing to extend your structural integrity field to it. Now you're sending over Thuslis in a shuttle. So you are headed over there now. You have a pilot on board.
I do. Yep.
And he needs control plus con, please. 2 successes.
Joe, do you
want to use momentum?
Do I have what?
Or do you want to use
my pilot?
Yeah. Yes. Stand by.
This is a tough docking. The docking port is moving.
NATO pilots, that's their job.
Right? Still a tough docking.
I doubt it. I don't doubt it.
Landing on a carrier during rough seas.
Dina's in squad 1. What do you need to know?
What do you
Control plus con.
Control is 11, con is 5.
Okay, so you've got 16.
And does she have anything special that goes with this flying?
Shuttlecraft pilot as a focus. Give me a moment. I will put this on. I'll put the character sheet up on a screen share as soon as my computer's hamsters wake up.
Sorry about that.
You hit the kill button, didn't you?
We changed spots. Yay.
That was unintentional, by the way.
I thought it was totally intentional, personally.
Like, peace out.
I'm done.
The focus means if it's under the con, then it counts as a double success, right?
Correct.
A 6 and a 17, so 1 success.
Okay,
Bless you, Guy. I'm going to just leave my screen share open,
that sounds fair.
and you can take it up and down as you see fit.
That works for me. Okay, so looking at, she has control and con of 16, and you had 1 success and 1 failure.
Correct.
Okay, so because it was 1 success, it didn't damage either vessel, just failed to dock. So you're going to have to come back around in a bit and do it again, which I assume that at this point in time we could pretty much effectively take 10, which is a term from a different game set, but that's okay. It's still the same theory, which is you can just keep trying until you finally dock in, but it was rough, which means that you're adding a lot of scared people on the other side because there was a lot of bam, 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 sort of stuff as the docks clamp.
I'm going to make sure I'm letting them know that we're coming over too. Get on the comms and let them know that that's us, not something else. We're just trying to get them off of here.
Okay. The door opens and there are guards who look terrified. The hallways are, you can see there's glass broken everywhere. It's shaking. The ship was not designed to take this much stress, and there's a lot of terrified people running around. They're very, very scared.
Yep. So we need to see Minister Valise as soon as possible. Bring her here. We're going to get her off the ship temporarily.
What are you doing to us? Why are you doing this to us?
This wasn't us. Hurry up. We'll explain it all to her when she gets here.
Why should we bring her to you? You've damaged us. You've damaged the ship.
That would be your compadres, the Romulans, that did that, not us. So just hurry up and go get her, or we're going to leave, and we'll leave you to deal with this yourself. It makes no difference to me. I'm trying to save you.
Give me a roll presence versus presence and command, please.
Okay.
They're terrified. They're very, very scared.
I have a commanding presence. I should be able to figure this
He
out.
has that face.
Yeah, it's the scary face with the antenna.
I have a talent called Follow My Lead. I have, what do you want? Presence and command?
Yeah, presence and command.
Okay, so I get to roll 3 dice because I have a talent, right?
I believe that's right.
You should look up the talent in the rule book, and it will tell you what that talent does.
Tell you what that talent means.
Of course. I would have to run and grab my book real quick because I did not.
Hang on, I'll find something for you.
Flying into town, I didn't have time to grab it. Sorry.
Hey, we appreciate you being here.
Yep. I landed like literally an hour before we started.
So probably a good thing we didn't do the 7 o'clock game. 7 o'clock start.
Yeah,
So
I have crisis management and Follow My Lead. So
right.
It
Oh, I'm
should
in
be.
the wrong colors. Computer. Red alert. If you're gonna do it right.
So,
And I did actually send out the SOS.
okay. when I worked for DirecTV, we were responsible for setting up all of the alerts in the command center. Anytime there was an error on anything, it did red alert.
Hey, it's effective.
Yep, everybody
Please jump to attention.
Yep.
We're predetermined. We're pre-coded for that.
Yep, whole bunch of gamers built all that stuff. Yay!
Okay.
All right, Follow My Lead is up on my screen share. Once per scene, when you succeed at a task during combat or another perilous situation, you may spend 1 determination. If you do so, choose an ally. The next task they attempt counts as having assistance from you.
Oh, okay, that doesn't help.
That's not gonna help. However, also, Joe, I don't think you're sharing your screen. You're just sharing the you shared the tab. Because I'm still seeing I'm still seeing.
The
I
character
see me.
sheet.
I see my character sheet.
I was
Yeah.
saying Nate's
I think
character
I
sheet.
have to close the screen share and reopen it to change
I think
because I
probably-
changed what's on the screen I was sharing and it didn't change.
It's all good. So 2 dice. Looking for 15s, I believe. One second. Where'd it go? I had it open, then it went away. Then I had it open.
Yeah, you're looking for presence of 10, or command of 5, so 15 or under.
Yep, 15. Wow, look at that. I got 1 success. Yay for me.
Partial. So there are still like those spears being pointed at you. However, you see in the background someone has run off.
Good.
It looked at you and kind of you could see almost like, well, okay, and then run off. You know what I mean? Like not a and then run off, but like somebody she figured that you were probably
I'm on the level.
on the level.
Maybe. You also might want to get people lined up and start getting them on here if we're going to start shuttling them off of this ship.
They're just going to keep pointing their spears at you at this
You
point.
can point your spears at me, but I'm telling you, you might want to start getting people lined up over there.
So
Hard to kill you if you up on your ship, just so you know that.
right. Minister Valles. So or Valise. Minister Valise then at some point down the road, it's been a few minutes, but she comes down the hallway. She's having a hard time walking because the hallway shifting like this, you know. So then shows up now. It's between you and Joe.
What are you doing? Where is Ambassador Hastings? What's going on?
We're looking for her as we speak, but in the moment right now, we need to get you off this ship and out of imminent danger. You need to come with me and bring your top people with you right now.
We can't leave this ship. This is our home, and it's in crisis. We have to save our people. We have to stabilize the ship.
If you don't come now, you can't stabilize the ship. Our engineers will start working on it, but the captain has asked that you come to our ship right now so we can have an important meeting. I need you to do that right now. Right now. Like, not a minute from now, like right now.
I'm needed here. I'm the leader of these people. They need me here to
They're
keep
going to need
the
you
ship in
more.
order.
They're going to need you more in just a few minutes if we don't do it right now.
Very well.
Please, madam, get on the ship. It's eminent that you get on the ship right now.
I expect to see someone that I'm familiar with.
You're probably not going to, unfortunately, but please get on the ship. We'll explain that as on the way.
All right, very well. I'm bringing some guards with me.
That's fine.
She
It's me and
details
two
about 6 of the guards, and they come on with you.
Shuttlecraft.
That's fine. It's me and 2 pilots. So the 2 pilots from the ship that has been taking them back.
And one of them's a Cation, so and female. So that's not going to be as big of a deal.
Your your one pilot is Cation. I think you only have one pilot on your squads.
I have a pilot and an engineer.
Yeah, so your engineer is also a human female.
Yes.
Well, you have several, but
It's the human female and the Cation female are the two.
The two that
okay,
you're really working
that's
That's the people that I had. tasked with.
Svetlana and Charlotte Hoffman.
Yes. All right. Let's
All
get moving, and we'll be back for your people as soon as we possibly can.
Okay. Captain Core, you're getting some good stabilization out of the ship. It's probably going to be able to take another 30 minutes or so to stabilize it so it stops shaking. There are definitely sections of the ship that are no longer habitable. There may have been people in there. You're not sure yet. It's hard. That was the thing that Luna had discovered in the last time. The ship is made of a specific metal that makes it very difficult to scan. It's not intentional, just happens to be the metal that they're using. So it took some time, but that's why you discovered why you couldn't scan it, was because this metal is very hard and very resilient for what it is, but it can't handle 2 ships pulling on it with tractor beams. So that became sort of an issue. It's not a shielded vessel. So but you're able to stabilize it. And what you can see from the wreckage is that there are definitely bodies in the wreckage coming away from the vessel. So people have died in this somewhere along the line. So you're going to have to prep yourself to tell Minister Valise that, because she's going to want to know that.
And she may or may
Calculate how many people are, estimate how many people are actually floating around.
You can see probably somewhere between 100 and 125 people. So whatever was, I mean, considering the population of that ship, that's a significant number, but not a crippling number. Says somebody's computer.
Yep. Sorry, my work.
What work? But we're playing RPGs.
And I'm not answering it.
Yep, that doesn't surprise me. Neither am I. So okay.
So
guys,
we'll take. I will get there, and I will take her up to see Captain Core.
all right.
Follow me.
Bridge. You're on the bridge now.
Mm-hmm. Captain, Minister Valise. Minister Valise, this is Captain Core of this ship.
The versatility.
Where is Ambassador Hastings? Where is Captain Lupine?
Unfortunately, we have no clue. They were both on the. Oh, what was the name of the ship again?
Van Valkenburg.
They were on the Van Valkenburg when a Romulan vessel uncloaked and tried to take your ship.
Who are these Romulans? What are you talking about?
The Romulans are a species. They're
angry Vulcans.
They're angry Vulcans. So
They're bad guys.
You remember the person that you were very upset being on your ship?
Yes.
Of that species.
Can we talk about transporting those people off the ship right now?
I was about to get to that.
I don't. We can't abandon that ship, and that's our home.
Unfortunately, your ship is currently breaking in half. There's already been casualties.
Yes,
There's been about 100 to 125 people that have lost their life from your ship from the damage. Right now, we're using our shields to try to hold your ship as best as we can to make sure you can evacuate all of your people.
Can your ship hold all of our people?
Unfortunately, I do not believe we can, but we have sent a general SOS out for other vessels to come assist.
But it would take them years to get here.
Unfortunately, not with our technology. Or fortunately, not with our technology.
I see. Well, I need to speak to my people because they're working on repairing the damage, and if we're able to do that, we would probably prefer to stay on our own ship, although we might want to discuss upgrading engines.
Unfortunately, we don't think your ship can last another 30 minutes.
I need to talk to my people. I need to get back to my ship and speak to my ministers.
I need you to start getting non-essential people to my shuttle when we take you back so I can get them off that ship quickly. You can put them back on your ship if you need to, but we can get non-essentials, children, off of that ship temporarily.
To make sure they are safe.
I'll discuss it with my ministers once I know their report on the situation.
Very well.
And we'll move them quickly back to the ship.
Okay. Has there been any response to the SOS yet?
Yeah, Starbase 1773 has responded. They've got 2 more ships they're going to send your way. There were 2 other ships that were there. The ones doing baryon sweeps. They're no longer sweeping baryons. So I'm going to bring up that information.
That is the Fletcher.
Thank you.
And I don't know what the other one is because my notes are out of date. But one of them is the Fletcher. Oh, the Volkov is there, but it's It's
The
just a
Moscalero
little.
was also supposed to be there, but that went off with the Cuesta.
Yeah, the Mescalero and Cuesta are off doing God knows what.
Yeah, we'll find out.
The Volkov is a Oberth class. It's sitting there, and the Fletcher was doing a baryon sweep, and I don't.
The Fletcher was a Miranda.
Correct.
So that gives us 2 ships that are heading your way: the Fletcher and the
Volkov.
All right,
I'll put them in
time
chat.
on that?
ETA.
They're going to be in here. They're going to be here within about 2 hours.
Oh boy. So, is there any way to assist the to try to prolong the ship's life at least by a couple hours?
That could be really difficult. I'll give you the rolls for it though, but it's going to be a 3 dicer.
Yay!
But I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You just won't do it, right? So that's going to be on engines and engineering for your starship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you need to get your engineer in there on daring and engineering.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, that's flag. I actually have the. Let's see if I can find flag right now.
I'm putting him up.
I'll switch over for that.
So 12 total, I think. Structural to engineering for his focuses.
Oh, that's good. He needs that. He needs that bad.
How lucky is that?
I know, right?
You have a structural engineer in there who's like, well, we need to, kind of tighten up this section, and that section's coming apart. That's not good.
What are we using? Insight and engineering?
Yeah, it's daring and engineering because this is risky.
Yeah.
So 12.
Yeah, 12 and 9 for the ship.
And when we've got a focus, what does that give us again, Joe?
It expands the crit range, or the
Correct. The focus, if he rolls below his discipline, then that's 2 successes.
Okay, good.
So if you roll below 4.
Okay. Well, that is a success on. Oops, that was a 16 on the ship die. But Randall had a 4 and a 1. So
that's 4 successes.
Yep.
So that's what we needed. So he's just a master. He's just boop, 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 boop. And the force fields are really working out there, and you can see them. He's really trying to kind of push stuff and pull stuff with the tractor beams, and he's gently, just trying to kind of get things right. And he's managed to buy you quite a bit of time. So he's bought you time enough that that you can wait for the Volkov and the Fletcher to get here.
All right.
But it was great.
Contact Major Specialist and say I bought them a little bit more time, a couple hours for 2 ships to come assist.
Perfect. We'll still get women and non-essential women and children off of the ship temporarily.
I was just non-essential women. It has to be non-essential women. They're all women.
We only take men. Go get the men.
We're all the men first.
Men and children first. No. I'm hoping that So, Minister, can you please make sure that we get a lineup of women, non-essentials, and children, so that we can get them off this ship immediately. I have a way to evacuate them quickly, so we can get them all off before we run out of time.
I will discuss it with my people.
Okay, so Valise goes off to discuss with her people, and I am just trying to get my phone to cooperate here. Nobody's messaging me yet, but I figure I can't tell whether Joe's going to message me or not if my phone is not near me.
I'm about to.
Oh, well, there you go. So, see, I can read his mind, just not well enough to understand what he's sending. Clearly.
And we're working on it.
Right? We're working on this. So, Anyway, so I'm going to hang on. Just give me a second here. And okay. So I will wait for Joe. Okay, so while you're there, they do seem to be less interested in you now this time round. The shaking has stopped, but you can hear like your ears are popping and stuff like that. There's definitely not good things going on the ship. It has that unmistakable. You've been a spacer for a long time. It has that unmistakable feeling of something's not right on the ship, like the ship is coming loose or something. You know, you've been in space long enough to know that there's a feel it's not right. So there's that. And really, that's.
Well, we're gonna stand just inside the door.
Mm-hmm. In case you need from.
Yeah, right. Bye.
Burn.
You chose not to. Yay! Have a nice day.
Yep.
Accidentally take the airlock with you. Oops.
Donald's joined us. Hello, Donald. Okay, so you're actually going to go over on there. There you go.
Captain Core.
Yep.
Can we be prepared to have some security and some medical people be prepared for when we start transporting them once they get onto a shuttle? Because I'm just gonna I'm gonna put them
exactly what I was gonna do.
And transport. So we're not. But I want to make it so that we're not don't have interference from their metal. If we put them on our shuttle, we can transport them without any interference.
Yeah.
At least that's what my theory would be. I have I'm not very good engineering, but
it's an idea.
We didn't have any problem with our engineer guy when we teleported him. So,
but he was in the ship, so
yeah, he was in my shuttle. So. I'm talking about that in the hallway on comm.
Right. In clear earshot.
Yeah. I will let them hear it.
In fact, Joe, I'll go on ahead and roll up for that just so that so that you will know.
Okay.
Can you also let me know if something starts going more astray with the ship?
No. You just die without knowing. Yeah.
No, you. I was asking Captain Core to tell me.
No.
Please tell me if I need to take 3 steps back and close the door before something happens.
The last thing you hear from me is, well, I hope you brought your brown pants on with you.
Yeah.
I used that joke on Friday in our role-playing game session. We're playing Starfighter.
That's awesome.
Timing.
What? Oh. That's so awesome.
Wait, LOL, I'm a doctor, not a miracle worker. Does that make me the miracle worker since I'm not the doctor?
Right.
Oh, man.
That's a lot of pressure, guys.
Yeah. So, using percentile dice for things is often creative, but when my dice roll that, it gets kind of scary. It's hard to see, but those are zeros, all zeros. So roll a natural 100.
Wow.
Probably not a good thing for the percentage. I will roll again, rather than saying, gosh, you've lost 100% of your crew. 100% of everybody on that shuttlecraft are dead.
And, oh, yeah.
Oh, well, you're like, wait a minute, that's me, isn't it?
I was standing 3 feet inside the door, so I'm okay.
I count myself not on the shuttlecraft then.
I'm in the door. I'm half and half. Leave me alone. But I guess if it blows up, I'm sucked into the vacuum of space and dead. So.
New character, yay!
Yeah.
Hey, luckily I'm Andorian. I like the cold, so I'm not angry for that 2 seconds until I die. It's really cold out.
Hey, it's kind of nice and.
Actually, I heard something that it's like a weird combination of like cold, but your insides are boiling at the same time.
Right.
Yep. Dying by space is not good. It's the full body hickey that sucks.
Yes.
Ooh, something fun happens, says Donald. Yes, when I start rolling my percentiles, things get ugly. That's why I like my percentile. I'm an old ICE player, you know. I love percentile. I don't know.
Me too.
That's a great system.
Mm-hmm.
I've got these great metal percentile now. And it's like that's great if you're playing in person, because then you can throw them at people. Just like that.
Or throw them onto the ground. Dang it.
Yeah, but that made an impressive noise, didn't it? I mean, like hitting everything and all over the ground.
Yeah. As long as it doesn't hit a monitor and break it.
Clink. Oh.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, well, that's $300.
Yeah. This would be a bad monitor to break too.
That's true. I could do it, Junior, Brent. I'm going to do a Thursless Junior.
Right.
I'm
Okay.
giving them to my father.
I have.
That's what I've decided. If Corin dies but Cor survives, it's my next character is just going to be, you know, Cor being in another host.
Right.
Space leeches.
All right, I just did a little math based on what you sent me, guy.
Yep. That's what we got. And yes, that's correct.
Okay, thank you. By the way, on my screen share now are all of the starships assigned to Starbase 173.
We got Randall Flagg still.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me end it and restart it.
I'm like, that's our whole thing? Randall Flag?
Oh, you
now.
Flag. He's holding your entire fleet together.
Currently.
Right?
He's doing a damn good job of it.
He is. Space leeches.
All right, that should do it.
There we go.
Holy, lots of ships.
Yeah, but most of them are deployed
Dispatch.
somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, like we only have really the Volkov and the Fletcher are the ones that are available at this point. That's right. The Russell was.
Apparently, I'm moving colonists. Is that what it says?
What are you looking at?
Because that's what I was thinking about. Was the successor class ship was huge, and it was a colonist transport ship.
Hold on. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not up to date. That notes is not up to date.
Oh, okay.
I can fix that. Done.
Is Destin with us? Destin, are you watching?
He is
If
not.
so,
Dustin,
give us a.
Dustin just gave me a thumbs up on. So
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what
he's
he
watching.
gave me too. That's why I was asking if he's watching.
Just
'Cause if
let's see
you're
if he has stats on how many people the versatility
Yeah,
can
'cause
carry.
I've got a lot of information on the QS, but that's all I've been holding is on the QS. That's my ship. So, did you message him, or would you like me to?
No, I was hoping he was listening and heard me. I'll message him.
I got it.
Okay. Then I'm going to make sure I'm not on crack and pull up a picture of our fleet.
Yeah, I was trying to find that. I couldn't find it.
I just found it. I'm pulling it up. My hamsters are a little slow because I got a lot of windows open.
It is
All
good.
the hamsters are working overtime today.
All right. My screen share is still that. Hold on. Go away. Go away.
Yeah, if you share the monitor, then that's probably, and besides, you've got an awesome background on your monitor.
I can try that. In the meantime, what's showing on my screen share is still showing.
All right,
Yeah, just switch my screen share. There we go. So the versatility is this one. It's on the right column, the second to the bottom. And the big oversized saucer section is good for, can be rigged for colonist transport. I just don't know how many it can hold.
Yeah.
I always find these interesting ships.
I honestly like my ship.
Yeah, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, just interesting.
Donald just asked any allies in range to help.
We got 2 coming. We've got 2 ships coming.
One of them is a Miranda, and one of them is just an Oberth. Let's see what kind of, because I'm looking at those warp missiles. Those look.
And basically this chart, we have one of each type of ship except the Oberth. There's a bunch of Oberths floating around. But most of the Oberths are not transwarp. They're much slower. They're standard warp.
Right. That's why you're still 2 hours out. They're at full. They've put the pedal to the metal, but they're still quite a ways out.
They're shoveling coal, and it's just going to take a while.
Yep. There's nothing we can do. We're just shoveling the coal into the burner.
Go as fast as we can.
Yeah. The sad part is that this isn't that far away from 173, but it is far enough away that
that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So Dustin's saying you could probably shove them all into the versatility.
Does Dustin know the numbers?
Well, he says you'd have to stack them up pretty much like cordwood in a lot of places.
Yeah.
And they put some folks in the cargo bay, but you could do it.
Oh, he gave a number.
Yep.
Or
He
you
said
gave a
10 to a
number.
room.
Yeah. Okay.
But he also said GM magic, which means that
Right.
we could just make it work if we, get
temporarily
make it work.
How many
have to survive long enough to get back to this 173?
And long enough until people get there to help us. Now, is this? I'm also including males on this too, right?
Yeah, I mean that's the idea is that you're dealing with 10,000 ish, give or take, that you're going to have to take on.
Okay.
But the successor could definitely take on a lot. You could put some more in the lower cargo hold of that Oberth, and the Miranda probably has some rooms that you can shove the remainder of them on there as much as possible. So your Fletcher can take it and things like that. Yeah, the problem is transporter time. Because even if you put all 10 transporters on your ship, it still takes 30 seconds for a cycle.
Right. So we're doing all of the shuttles that we have.
Yeah, how many shuttles was it? I thought it was like 4.
I think we have 4 on this ship.
4 transporters?
Shuttles.
Your
Or 4
ship
shuttles, yeah.
character sheet will tell you how many shuttles you have. And stand by. I will put the versatility.
It actually doesn't say.
Oh, we didn't. Okay.
I know we have the Mako shuttle, but I thought we had a total of 4.
Hold on a moment.
It's still going to take 83 minutes for you to transport everybody over. $1.3 hours. And that's assuming that none of your transporters go down and you are as fast as possible. Just pulling it with a 30-second recycle on the transporter buffer, because you have to give the transporter buffer time to recycle.
We got to clear it. Yep.
And that assumes nobody makes mistakes, which I have mean dice. They're already in the cranky mode. I can tell already. They feel cranky to me, so we'll have to see.
Well,
I have a stock character enlisted transporter operator that is available now if you need them.
All right. What do we got on the character for? I like stock Starfleet transporter crew.
Okay.
And this is an engineering task, which is good.
It was 22. And I'm working on some distance calculations just for giggles.
Yeah.
Well, I'm patiently waiting. Yes, these are primitive peoples. They don't know about technology, Donald. They don't know that we have teleporters. They don't know that we have warp capability. They're very pre-warp. They've been pushing less than impulse to get there for generations.
Yeah.
So we're going to break a whole bunch of prime directives by putting them on this ship. But that's a Starfleet problem, not a Mako problem.
Right? That's not a problem for the Marines. That's the problem for the Navy to deal with.
Right. I'm here to
that's
say
when I all of a sudden, I disappeared to Mirror Universe. Bye.
I just work here.
But you're the captain of the vessel. Bye.
that sure sounds like a problem of not mine. Sorry.
Right?
And oh wow, this would probably actually have flashbacks for Core.
Is this lady coming? What are you doing? I know Joe's doing this.
Okay.
I'm calculating.
Okay, gotcha. You're better at that one than me. I'm going to go on ahead. I'm assuming. What is the story with, before you calculate that? What is the story with Valise and allowing them to start transporting off?
I think pretty much as soon as Valise gets back to her ship and gets a status report, she will be on board with an evacuation.
Okay. Then you can relay that back, and then the magic starts to occur.
Yes.
So
it's the endless shuttle.
Yeah. Well, you probably are just going to have the endless shuttle. Everybody get in the shuttle. Everybody get in the shuttle. Everybody's crowding into the shuttle.
Yeah. And then everybody goes in and disappears, and the next people are like, "I'm not going in there."
Screw that.
You vaporized the last people that went in there. I'm not stupid.
Especially if we told them what happened to our people. They just disappeared. We have no idea where they went. Come on into our shuttle. Poof. Those people disappeared. Yeah. Nope.
Right. Okay, so it's going to take 16% longer. I rolled my dice. You're lucky. My gold dice liked you guys this time. So they only rolled a 16, so it's 16% longer. The problem is Donald is absolutely right. There's a handful of them that don't want to go. They're terrified of this. So
I will.
there's
I will
only
say that
one
we can probably do. We can probably do a normal shuttle ride for them if they're terrified of these.
Yeah. So the problem is that you cannot transport through the outer hull. There's only one real, like you have to get into a nice angle to get to that market area, the center market area, and you can beat it from the market. So
is there enough docking ports for all 4 of the shuttles?
there aren't. There's just this one docking port.
Okay.
So we'll just have to cycle them through?
Yeah. So the shuttle is just going to have to, but you can have all 4 of them running in sequence so that as soon as one leaves, another one docks and leaves,
Correct.
and then another one docks.
Correct.
So you can have them in sequence.
Yeah, and if we can have one shuttle that's actually transporting them all the way back if they're afraid of the actual transporter.
Right. So I assume the first thing you're going to do is take the women who are in the market area.
Correct. I'm going to be in the market area. I'm going to move to the market area and make sure that everything is going on there.
Okay, your transporter chief, I rolled for him, her, and came up with an ace and a 4. So my Starfleet die are in real accordance with you guys. So you got 3 successes on something that needed 2 successes. So
yay,
we're good there. The transport's going well. It's only going 16% slower because of chaos.
Yep.
So instead of taking 80 minutes, it's going to take it in 95 minutes. So that's not that bad, relatively speaking.
Mm-hmm.
So,
of course, I'm going to be having medical personnel scanning, and if there's anything that's overtly harmful to them.
Yeah. So
they're Vulcans.
They're Vulcanoid, but that doesn't mean they're inoculated. They're not inoculated from any of the diseases we've been dealing with in the last, say, 3,000 years.
Correct. That'll take a few minutes.
Common cold can be disastrous.
Right.
Guy, what do I know about the guys, the men being in the walls? Do I know any of that?
Yeah, you've been hearing a lot about that chatter from Luna. There's your next problem.
Whoever is in charge, is the ambassador there with me?
Yeah.
Minister Release?
Yes.
You need to get the men in here too.
Well, yes, obviously, because we would have no future generations without them.
Yes.
But the live people would need to go first.
I agree, but we need to start getting those people moved here.
I'll have my crews begin preparing them for transport. So she sends the medical people to start rigging up.
Start thawing them out.
No, they're basically trying to figure out a way to disconnect them from the ship, hook them to batteries, and bring them over. She does not want them thawed out.
I was about to say that. Thanks, Joe. You and I totally on the same way.
Yeah.
All right.
I will allow that for now.
For now. So part of this Captain Core is that they've got a bunch of these men sedated and they will not wake them up. They don't want to risk it. There's no chance of risking it. Now, it's funny that Earth late 21st century is definitely primitive compared to Star Trek. So there is that.
Future for us, we're primitive for them.
It's just, does primitive mean, bear skins and stone knives, or not warp?
Right. So the real question is, so I'm going to actually roll a couple of dice rolls here. Okay. There is you're going to have some uprising chaos that's gone on your ship here. For one, the oncoming refugees are clashing with a couple of the Vulcan males that are on board your ship.
I was actually going to mention that I was going to have them kind of
confined to quarters?
Yeah.
Okay, good, because there will be clashes.
That was something that I was going to say, but
I'm good with it. Whatever his name is.
Yeah. He was talking at the moment when I thought about it.
Perfect. Then they're confined to quarters and you won't have a problem with that. However, they're all very confused and terrified and horrified and yada, 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 and such and such.
Do we have a public relations department?
Yes. She was on the Van Valkenburg.
What about her subordinates? That seems like a them problem now.
We're basically just
do we have a backup ambassador or backup
So I would presume that Valise has sort of told them they're leaving for right now to come back later or something like that. So to make it easier for them to go, either regardless of whether she believes the ship is a lost cause or not.
I think Valise is on board with the evacuation, and she's got her security people,
right? But
encouraging people, and she's given an evacuation.
Right, would some refuse to leave? And I think they would, but I think a lot of this is that I think that Valise put out we're only leaving for a few minutes so that they can patch up the ship. So people think they're coming back, regardless of whether they will or won't. Valise being a good manager, a good leader, that would definitely be something that she would say.
She's going to do whatever she can to encourage them to go. But I do have a question, though. Have you started using transporters?
Yes.
Did you tell them before you started using transporters?
Yes.
No.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you had to have a conversation.
That was what we were talking about earlier, Joe. There's only one angle that they can actually get inside the hull. You can't beam through that hull. Sensors don't penetrate. You can't beam through it.
So everyone herding people to that spot.
To the market. That market area. They're herding everybody to the market.
So we have into the market and into the shuttles.
Right. The shuttle dock is up forward more.
Yeah.
But into the market, that huge market, everybody's crowding into that and then just vanishing.
And just being beamed out. And the whole concept was explained to Valise so she could explain it to her people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although it's still terrifying.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can explain it to them, but then they're still vanishing right in front of you. You're dematerializing.
And that's why I'm in the marketplace, to make sure that the people understand that we're not there to try to kill them.
Yeah, and actually probably what would have happened if you didn't think about it, one of your other guys would have thought about it, would just say, beam me up and beam me back.
Yep.
See? Fine.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with me.
We're good. Next. You and you and you and you and you.
Right.
Yep. Communicate.
Which is exactly what I would have done if I had been there. I'd been like, okay, wait. Beam me up. Oh God. See, I'm fine. I'm fine.
I'm good. Took 30 seconds. Everything's fine.
Yep. Just long enough for the buffers to cycle. Okay.
Just cleared.
So it's been now 45 minutes, and you have all of the females off of the place. Now we're trying to deal with the males. They've been. I'm going to actually give them. Ooh, they're having problems with that. The doctors are having problems with them coming out of the walls. So I rolled a 16 and a 14 on 2 dice. So the generic Nelcav doctors are having problems getting them out of the walls. So
wake them up, and we'll move them, and we'll re-put them back in when we're done. We have security. They will be fine. You don't want to let them die.
You're going to have massive violence if we wake them up. They're just horrifically violent. We can't wake them up. Can you rig some kind of a stasis tubes that we can put them in?
Not me. I'm not a doctor. Hold on. Core, listen to this. Can you put us?
I do have a chief medical officer for you, Core.
Yeah, but would the chief medical officer be willing to do that with?
That's a player question. All I can do is supply the character sheet.
There, so
I'll put
Yeah,
the character
that's
sheet
what my
up on the
question
screen.
here is that, would she be willing to do that?
If you want to leave it to me and my random dice, I could definitely do it.
You know what? I'm going to leave it to the random dice.
she's Andorian.
Yep.
Yes,
She's probably hot, man. You probably like her.
So. Make it so.
Okay, I'm gonna roll 2 dice. So we're just gonna their percentile. What do we think is her percentile chance of deciding not to do this or having a fight with you over it? Want to give her, say, 25% and under?
Yeah.
Sure.
She fights you over this?
Yeah.
Okay. 35. She grumbles a lot. But as far as the morality of this, before she even does this, but she concedes. But boy, it was close. 35% out of a 0 to 25, she wouldn't have done it. So 35 was what the dice rolled.
I think Core actually agrees with her on that it's morally dubious, but at the moment, it'd probably be the safest bet without causing fights.
Okay, she has, hang on real quick, reading in here. 13. Oh. Okay, so she can come up with sort of an idea that works a little bit. I mean, she can sedate them, but it's going to take her a long time to replicate all this, all the modules of sedative.
How long?
Use the bar of the desk. You just keep using the things that. So it's going to take. I have dice for this. This is why I carry dice. She says it's going to take another 30 minutes on top of this to just produce enough sedative to do that. But then you're going to have 5,000 people who are sedated.
Yeah. What I'm going to do is
or house them or put them somewhere. You're going to need blankets and bedding and things like that.
What I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to call security, and both medical and security, and tell them the situation that's going on, and ask that they help as best as they can, while the chief medical officer is trying to come up with fix the sedative problem.
Okay,
Captain Core.
Yeah.
Have the Makos clear away from the transporter room to cargo bay and just have nobody else in there except Makos and security, and take the mails directly to the cargo bays. Don't let them interact with anybody else.
All right. Well, then I'll do that.
Cool.
What information do we have from this computer chip? Were we able to get everything
Before this happened?
Yeah. Or did that all go to the Van Valkenburg?
That all went to the van.
Captain Core, we may need to have an engineer sent over here to help download their database so that we can keep their historical information for them.
Great. Okay.
Minister Valise, would you be okay with us transporting your computer information so you don't lose it?
She's okay with that.
Okay. So we need an engineer to do that.
In the midst of all that transporter shenanigans, someone pops in.
And runs off. Yep.
Actually, it was probably a team of engineers.
Yep.
Probably computer engineers.
Yeah. That's right. Okay, so the Volkov can't get here. Right. The Fletcher's making it here at full steam. Joe has redone the calculations. The Volkov's still shoveling a whole bunch of coal into their engine. They won't make it here for 15 hours. But that's okay. It's an O-berth. There's not a lot of space on there anyway that they can use. And I agree with what you're saying, Joe. But the Fletcher can be here in 24 minutes. So
Oh, good. We
They'll be
won't.
outside. They can help.
So when the flesher gets here, we can continue moving males onto there. So without the females, it's just them.
Yeah.
No, not a security risk.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay, so you're going to move just the males over into the back section of the cargo or the shuttle bays on the Fletcher.
Yes.
Okay, there's not a lot of room for that, so the Fletcher is going to give you their shuttles. So there's nothing in the shuttle bays.
That's fair.
Because you're going to be able to. So that's what's going to have to happen there.
That's fine. Our shuttles can get the. They only have one, but but that'll give us enough to get people back because the shuttles can follow along behind the ships and get us there, back to the base if necessary.
Right. Well, that's the thing is if you can at least hold the shuttles, then that'll work until we get back to 173.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Anything else of cultural importance that you need to take onto this?
Yeah, they're going to have artifacts and libraries and computer cores but Valise isn't going to worry about that stuff until the people are off.
Right.
Never mind. Alexa's back there responding to you because you said the C word.
Oh,
Nice.
sorry.
It's all good, but I just have to tell. Alexa's like, say it again. What did you say? I'm like, it's not important. Never mind. Okay.
So everything's moving along fairly smooth.
Right. The Fletcher shows up, and we start putting the males over on the Fletcher. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And then you move their shuttles over into our shuttle bay, or
Correct.
into the Versatility shuttle bay. Okay. Here's what has happened. There is a strained call from the captain of the Fletcher, and apparently a handful of the males have woken up, and it's impossible to talk to them, and they don't know what's going on. So the captain is not briefed because he just showed up and you started beaming people to him.
Fair.
So, they're still kind of struggling to figure out what's going on. So he's now asking to see if maybe Valise can come over to his ship or something. So that's where you're at this point in time. So there you go. You're online with the captain of the Fletcher.
All right.
I'm going to push that communication over the Thuchless to ask Valise.
Yep. Fine. Minister Valise. Apparently,
Yes.
some of your males have woken up on our ship, and where we don't have the women, and they're very confused and don't speak our language, and we can't communicate with them. Is there anybody that you can send over there, a doctor or somebody that can deal with these people that can calm them down?
And we can attach security personnel to them.
Hold on. Let me see how smart she is. What they're not going to understand any spoken language. They're going to act on pure instinct. So I suggest you stun them.
Okay. Captain Core, sedate them. Tell the Fletcher, sedate them. That there's
the captain of the Fletcher, when you tell him this, says, we are actually having a hard time pinning them down to sedate them. We're going to have to shoot them with phasers on stun. Is that acceptable? I mean, are we violating something here?
Take that on my order, Major Thuchless. That is it. Okay, do that.
According to Major Thuchless, that is an okay.
That's awesome. A Mako giving orders to a Starfleet captain. That's gonna start a fight.
I don't
He's
report
in charge of security. That's all I'm saying.
All right, Captain, on his authority then, huh? Okay.
If anything goes wrong, we're blaming him.
You know
That's
who I
fair.
report to, right? Make it so.
Reason why.
We'll stun them. Fletcher out. As long as this won't cause some kind of international incident, we'll stun them. Fletcher out. And so,
Whole bunch of shenanigans going on right now.
right? This is kind of rough.
Captain, if you need, we can send some Makos over there to handle that if you need to. And take it.
Yeah, I would request that actually.
Take it out of Starfleet's hand. That's fine. We'll take care of it.
And I'll contact the Fletcher saying, hey, we're going to assign some Makos to you for this incident.
And I'm going to send a briefing to the Makos, let them know what's going on. These men are waking up from sedation. They've never actually spoken a word in their life, apparently, because they've been just stuck in this hole. So if we need to sedate them, you can take them down with stun weapons and then have the medical staff sedate them and keep them unconscious.
Okay. I'm going to roll for those guys. Let's see where we are. You know what? Your Makos managed to pull it off. So the Makos show up there. There's a couple of men running around. They're awake, they're angry, they're naked, which doesn't help any, but they have already taken a couple of really good swings at a couple of the human security officer red shirts. And the red shirts are standing way back, and the medical people are standing way back. The red shirts have their guns drawn, but these people have never seen a gun before, so they don't know whether that's a threat. Right. So they keep attacking the security people, even though they've got phasers drawn, but they have no concept of phasers, so they just keep attacking them. And so finally, your Makos show up, and it's some of them are in hand-to-hand combat with the poor red shirts, right? So they have to take real close aim and then whap. One of the Makos has accidentally shot one of the security guys. He falls, but that's okay. He'll wake up with a headache a little later on.
Are you sure that was on accident?
Really mad at your Makos.
Oh, good luck. Good luck, red shirt. You can be mad.
So that's how that all went down.
Well, all I'm saying is this is going to be an interesting report on the Commodore's desk.
Right. The Commodore's going to love this part.
Wait till Jameson reads it.
Yeah. Wait till we say, I don't know what happened. They just disappeared.
Well, I feel like, Joe, to your statement there, I would love to do that, but I feel like we are at a wrap almost here.
That's A-okay.
Yeah. I mean, because I feel like we've managed to. Now all we have to do is just see where Captain Core wants to do with the original Nelcav ship.
Okay.
I mean, because that's the next step. Everybody is securely on whoever's left alive, and you did all the math. So total living 5,100 women alive. 900 died, 4,140 men alive, 1,860 are dead. So Joe did the math on that because I just rolled randomly on the percentage and didn't take the 100 that I rolled. 100% of the women died because that
that would have been bad.
That would have been oh no, Cora is having flashbacks of races being wiped out.
I was sitting there looking at this going, man, the last time I played ICE, why didn't you roll like that for me? Huh?
Right? Yeah.
So, Donald's saying tractor it back to the starbase because he wasn't here last week when they tried tractoring it and it fell apart.
Yeah.
So, how much time do we have left over? Because I want to see if I can't try to recover some of their cultural artifacts.
We've been doing
if you actually go on ahead and do I would like to see an insight and insight and engineering from somebody on your ship.
That will probably be
Flag.
Insight and engineering.
It puts them at a 15.
Would warp tech, structural engineering, or electrical engineering help with this?
Yep, the structural engineering, because you're asking him a question about how much structure is left.
No chip die for this one, right?
Right.
Nope.
Just 2 straight up, and actually this is a relatively easy one for him. So
A 2 and a 19.
well, the 2 is good enough. I'm going to let it go with that one because I feel like this is a pretty straight up answer. He tells you, if we power that thing down, it'll stop trying to shake itself apart. So, they can duct tape the thing back together again to hold it in one piece. And it may never be able to sustain life, but it's also not going to fall apart.
We can get it back to the base.
Yeah. Towing it's going to be a different problem. It's still heading towards bite at, 3% the speed of light. But yeah, probably with some care and gingerness, a couple of towing ships could get here and do that. So that's probably okay. He says that as long as they power it down, it shouldn't be a problem.
All right.
But powering it down will kill all of the plants on board. And so you'll have to explain that to Valise because she doesn't understand. She's not going to quite grasp that. To her, you're wiping out all the food forever and ever and ever. Right? She doesn't understand, she doesn't understand replicators. She doesn't understand any of that stuff. So,
well, I feel like that's going to be a question figure out for the next session.
Yeah, well, I figure that this is probably pretty good to wrap up. We're coming up on 10 o'clock anyway. So I figure we'll wrap up here at this point in time with you guys, at least your 2 ships traveling back. The Volkov will ultimately get there, and the Volkov, being a science ship anyway, can oversee powering down the ship and everything like that. I don't know if you want to role play trying to explain that to Valise, or if you just want to say, I explain it to Valise over the next 20 hours.
I'll probably be explaining it to Valise over the next
20 hours.
Yeah, Brent.
We'll play that out.
Examples of, going to the replicator, having a dinner from the replicator.
Right. Now, I have some bad news for you. Isn't this tasty?
We can make as much of this as you need, but in the meantime, all your food is gone.
Yep. Sorry. Yep. So, okay, guys.
And Brent brought that up. We brought samples back, didn't we?
Yeah. Actually, that's something that I would probably do. Make sure to get is samples or at least seeds.
Mm-hmm.
Just so that we don't leave them cultureless completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna go over like a lead balloon.
Right?
What's that?
Oh, we're chuckling about you taking them back to Starbase 173. You remember the first session, right? Do you remember the rewards of the award ceremony?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember who was in charge of Starbase 173?
It's a Vulcan, yeah. Man.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, no, the spiral is in bad shape. Donald's saying maybe you could power down everything but the life support for the plants. It's the spiral that's in really bad shape. Because that's the weakest part. That front bell is actually doing pretty well, relatively speaking. It's just that the spiral is in lousy shape, which has destabilized the atmosphere on the entire ship. The truth is, there's nothing we can do about those plants anyway. The spiral's been damaged very badly. It's leaking atmosphere. Horrible things are happening. The plants are going to die. They're not going to make it.
Well, I said earlier that I was going to try to get at least some seeds from each plant.
Yeah. Yeah, you can leave orders for biologists. I mean, like I said, the Volkov's a science ship. So you can leave orders for biologists to go from the Volkov over there and clippings and whatever while they can. Because Starfleet personnel can wear spacesuits.
Yeah.
You know. And the truth is, plants do relatively well being deep frozen.
Right.
Yeah.
So we can save some of them, just not on that ship. Sorry.
Yeah, there's just no way that they're going to originally do that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. You've got a couple of.
But at least we got the people off the ship. Some of them.
All I'm saying is this is going to be an interesting next couple of sessions.
Captain Core, we should probably. This will be separate when we're separated. I need to talk to you. We should probably get one of those mails to your Starfleet doctors on the starbase and see if we can figure out some more information about these people.
I was going to do that.
I don't think they'll miss one.
Computer. Broadcast lights. We're probably not going to anymore.
And then I'll just come back and I'll monitor and make sure security's good all the way back. And that's what I'll do.
There you go. For the most part, you get some that start to wake up and they go back to sleep once you sedate them some more, and you keep them all sedated until you're back to Starbase 173.
So they look like sickly, pale Vulcans.
They're horrible. They really are horrible. They've got atrophied muscles and all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's amazing that those original Vulcans got a good sock into the
red shirts.
Yeah. I think Joe. I think yes. I think we're just going to let 173 deal with it from this point forward. So
it's out of our pay scale.
Yeah, I mean, it's at this point in time, it's above their pay scale. Now, how to deal with that? The Volkov will be bringing back the ship at some point, and that's something that you can tell Valise is that at some point the ship will be back. They're not sure whether it can make warp travel, so they'll have to see, and we'll just figure that out. Yeah, no mental powers. Yeah, so these guys are really, I mean, they're really rough looking. It's actually kind of hard on the.
It's like going into an Auschwitz thing.
Yeah, it really is. It's like going into Auschwitz. They're weak. They're atrophied.
I'll probably assign medical personnel to try to figure out what all is wrong with them, what they're suffering from.
Right. Now, the next problem is what happened to your ship? What happened to the Valkenburg? Where is that? So that's your next mission. You're going to have to go look for the van. They'll deal with the Nelcav, but you're going to have to go find the van.
The one thing I would say is that flash of light. Am I able to tell that it was them going to Mirror Universe?
So
I have a lot of experience with it.
I want you to do a insight and science, but it's your character, please.
Okay.
Give me 2 dice on that one. Tell me what we get.
A 13 and a 19.
Okay. You're not 100% sure.
Yeah, I figured that. Now it's time for the terrible roll.
No, it's all good.
I've never been to the Mirror Universe because I came in after all that stuff.
Really good. The only person who could really reason that one out would have been Core. And it would have been him, not a machine. You know, he couldn't assign it to a science officer.
Yeah, because he at least has the most experience.
Right. Every time you've come through, it has been via portal, or there's been a portal or a something. What happened out there didn't seem like that. However, you are pretty sure that the ships were not destroyed. So there is still a missing persons for the ships, as opposed to they were lost in battle. There's absolutely no trace of the van or the Romulan ship out there at all, and so it's not like they blew up. You'd find wreckage, if they blew up. So they didn't blow up. So, and it's going to take you some time of thinking this through, but you guys are the biggest ship, so they're going to send you back out to go look for them. And you're going to start with the Nelcav reclamation project, which is now what that's going to be, and move from there. So that's where we will leave you guys, so that you guys can now attach to the guys on the van when we get to that starting next month.
Nice. Question: where is Hunter's character in? What ship was he assigned to?
That's a joke.
He was assigned to the Mescalero, which is Hashimoto's ship, as first officer.
Shit.
But he's probably on light duty because he's pregnant.
Yeah, he's gone because you left.
Yeah, he's with. Well, he might have stayed on the starbase, depending on what Jameson told Hashimoto about where they're going. What type of mission it was, Hashimoto might have been like, sit down and stay at the starbase.
The only reason I'm asking is because Hunter's character had one of the armbands that actually transported you to the other dimension.
Yes.
And I know about that, so I would have tried to get it. But
Doucheless knows. Doucheless was in the pocket dimension at.
I was, but you took my armband when you had to give it back to when they took the ship. But they did not take Hunter's because he had one before. But he's gone.
Oh, that's right, because he had one that he didn't acquire on that mission, so nobody knows about it.
Correct.
Yeah.
So,
well, that will be a question for the future.
Yeah, that'll be a Dustin question. Because actually, I think you're going to be recycled for this. They're going to reprovision your ship and set it up. But I probably should leave it open so you'll depart from Starbase 173 just in case Dustin wants to start with the returning of the Mescalero and the Cuesta to join your task force.
And part of the problem too is they can't. All you can really tell 173 without violating
everything.
The classified nature of Project Odyssey is I don't know where the Van Valkenburg went.
It's currently
we should go look for it.
Yeah, I mean that might be you're looking for it because you didn't tell the starbase they're missing. I don't know. That's up to you.
That's up to Core. That's not my job.
I wouldn't tell them they're missing. I would tell them that they went off.
They chased the Romulan.
The Vans.
Romulan down. I don't know where they went from there.
That's fair.
I don't know.
A little creative writing in his after action report.
Yep.
Right. Well, and that should be up to Dustin then as to what we want to do to pass that on to him. Or if Dustin can't, then Joe and I will make that work and we'll fix it in. So,
yeah.
But that gives us the open end to wrap this section up so that everything fits.
Anger.
Pretty.
That's cool. I'm excited.
Yeah. Just remember, if anything went wrong, we blame the Makos.
That's right. Specifically, Doucheless.
Yep.
You can, because nobody on the ship except for Jameson outranks me. Nobody.
I know there's going to be a conversation where
I don't remember any of you people.
The captain of the Fletcher is going to be back at the starbase going, what's our relationship with the Makos? Do we take orders from them? Wait a minute. How does this work?
How did we get here?
Are they authorized to make those kinds of decisions?
On my ship, they are.
They did it.
I did make a roll for him as to whether he was pliable or whether he was going to be argumentative, and he went for pliable. So
that's good. It's like
That was
I mean, it makes sense because he would go, "Hey, they're in the mission. They know what's going on. I haven't had time to be briefed." That's a logical
I'm
choice.
just going to do what they tell me to do. And actually, that's why he called, was because he was like,
and his
guys.
people were getting hurt.
Yeah. And they didn't know whether they could shoot him or not. I mean,
Right.
that's like a thing. It's like, I've got a naked dude who's trying to throw punches at me.
And he's not very good at throwing punches because nobody has ever taught him how to punch.
He's a weakling.
He's more like
a weak Vulcan is still much better than, a human. Yep. Stronger than a human, even if he's super weak. But yeah, I mean, it's like he's throwing punches at me. He sucks at it, but like he keeps, we got naked Vulcan landing on our security people. This is not good.
It's
ending badly.
Kind of gross. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a gross situation. What do we do?
Yeah. I will say Core probably is feeling really good about himself, partially because he managed to save a race.
Yeah.
Especially after, both Trill being bombed and, the destruction of, I can't remember the name of the planet now.
I'm pretty upset because
Lamemda, thank you.
Yep.
And watching two species getting wiped out completely except for stragglers.
I mean, we don't really know that the Lamemdans were wiped out. They could be anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
They could be behind you right now.
They could.
Right? They could be inside the captain of the Russell. He might need to be taken out. He might need to be jettisoned. Sorry. Just kidding.
I think you've been playing on this way too much.
You know what bothers me is that I finally found somebody that I want to go with.
Did he just totally drop?
Oh, no.
Yeah, he dropped.
You know what bothers
He's frozen.
me? Yeah. He's just over there reading his phone. Oh, well. Okay. Well, that's the we'll wait for Mr. What bothers me to come back from this. There he goes. There he goes. He's back.
My power went away. My battery's about to die.
Oh, like that's a thing.
My battery's about to die, so my internet got really laggy because the computer's like, we're not sending power to the router anymore. There you go.
So what really bothers you is your power is about to die.
That I finally found somebody who I like to go on away missions with, and she just disappeared.
Oh.
I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, Hastings, I love going on away missions with Hastings because she understands me. She has the same thoughts. And then poof, she's gone. Like,
see, Captain Core is like, she at least knows how to think and think about things that I don't think about. So yeah, great
team.
Grr.
Well, this was totally a diplomatic situation, and then you're just diplomat. Poof, gone.
Right.
Yep.
And then it went to the tactical.
Without a diplomat.
And then you send the Marine to do it.
Right.
I got
Hey, Marine, go over there. Get on the ship. No. Yes. No. Yes. We're gonna point things at you. I'll point bigger things at you.
Yeah. This is not going to end well for you. I'm going to win. Just get on the ship.
It just escalates from here. It doesn't get better.
I'm
trying to save your life. If you don't want to be saved, I can end your life and save the next person's. It's okay.
I find it the most ironic that the two more military-minded characters were in charge of this.
I actually thought this was a beautiful, very Van Valkenburg-esque wrap-up to the story. Here we have a super diplomatic situation, and we left all the military guys in charge.
And then
all the guns were in
then
charge.
What do? We dump a huge mess on an admiral. Here you go, sucker.
Right.
Yeah.
Nope.
Like, I'm not saying.
And a Vulcan admiral at that. Can you imagine? Or now a Vulcan commander at that. Can you imagine what's going on right now between Valise and the captain of the starbase? That discussion must be
She's not even speaking to him. She's like, go away.
You know, I'm thinking. I want to see, you know, Commodore Hashimoto's reaction to this whole situation, and how, you know, he thinks back to all these previous missions.
Yep. Well, and that's going to be the entertainment, is when the other away group comes back, when Hashimoto's dispatched group comes back. That's going to be way too much fun for its own good.
Oh yeah.
Good. So there's a
You
lot
did
of good,
what?
yeah. There is a whole lot of good tasty that's going to happen at the next adventure.
Right.
That's when I just
quick.
That's when I just stop caring and start wearing the duster. You know.
Right.
Hey, you're the captain. You can set dress code on your ship.
Yeah.
Bathrobes for everyone. Oh, we're Jedi now. Yay. Oh. That's awesome.
So tell me how your replicators broke because you were making 437 bathrobes. Yeah.
Hey.
We were trying to make different colored bathrobes, and they got stuck on purple.
Right. I got nothing else. I got nothing, man. Got nothing. Okay, guys. Well, that's this game for this evening. I'm going to go ahead and hit the end of the broadcast for those of you who are joining us. Those of you who are still here, you can stay in the green room, and we can continue chatting after the broadcast is over. But I'm going to go ahead and do that. Real quickly, would like to say the Geek Tank is sponsored by Karen Games, Geekway Homes, Shiny Garden, and your mom. Okay, so we'll be back. We won't be back. So Geek Tank won't be back this year, 2020. It'll be back in 2021. So we'll see you then. And I don't think we have another game. So this is the last regularly scheduled broadcast for Geek Tank. So we'll see you in 2021. Thank you for joining us. I've been Guy, and that's been Brent way over there. And this has been Joe, and that's been Nate. Oh, that's been Nate, and that's been Richard. And this is Geek Tank.
Bye, everyone. See you later.
Bye.